I need you to be this thing for me so I don't feel a certain way. Mm-hmm. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put so much pressure on you and find really sneaky ways to manipulate you so that you will always be the thing that I need you to be so that I'm happy.
All right. I need to make a sort of ad hoc video real quickly. I got some other content coming. But I really do see what Cap has been bitching about for a while. And it is a problem. And this goes to all these brothers, all these dating gurus, if you want to call them that, starting with Kevin Samuels, Dennis Sperling, and even mediocre tutorials and reviews. And there's other brothers that also are online doing the same thing. But those are the three top people that I've seen in recent time do this. I mean, Dennis just posted this today. And mediocre tutorials and reviews, although his video I thought was very good in terms of crunching the numbers that he got off of blackdemographics.com as it pertains to the position of black men relative to black women. He kind of did the same thing, which is telling black women that they find unattractive that they need to date down. That's really what it comes down to. People just need to be honest about it. A lot of your quote unquote high value black men or black men who get to that point, or any black man that gets to a particular position of money and resources. And I guess, this may be across the board. I know black women will sit there and argue with you and they'll be like, there's wealthy white men married to ugly white women or less attractive white women or white women who aren't models. But men with money tend to want extremely attractive women. It's their get back to the world in terms of delayed gratification. The fact that, while they were grinding or while they were getting themselves established, which takes most men on average about 10 years if they go the straight and narrow route through education, schooling, all that stuff, networks, that takes men a while. And a lot of men, either they do one or two things. They either marry very early and don't necessarily get the woman that they want, or because they're on their ascension. And a lot of times they'll get married during their ascension. And then when they're finally, super established, super successful, where money's not a thing, they feel that they deserve a better looking woman. Right. And this is where you get into the women who will argue about, successful men cheating, and things like that. This is why the argument has been made several times that it is better for women to get with a man that is fully established rather than operating on this ride or die chick. Because when a man is fully established and, he's comfortable where he's at, then you can pretty much rest assured that you are actually the woman that he desires, because he actually has the highest level of options at that point, or at least in his own mind. Where and I know that a lot of guys want the ride or die chick, and she's got to want me for me and all this other stuff, and it's, to me, it's just bullshit. It's bullshit. Because while guys are sitting there saying, they want a woman that wants them for them, as soon as we get to a woman that is unattractive and is accomplished, like the woman that called in Kevin Samuel's show, all of a sudden they'll say, oh, well, you need to date down and you need to go and you need to date, these blue collar workers. And the sad part is, and because black men actually have the same problem, or I say white collar black men have the same problem that the general population of black women have, where they it's like a sneak diss. There's a lot of guys that are working blue collar jobs that'll make an ass of a white collar job guy. I know guys that, they graduated and they were making $40,000, where you had a guy who, let's say he was a welder, or he had, some other blue collar job where he had some sort of apprenticeship, and they were making 80, coming out of school. So a lot of people, again, we're still stuck in the 80s with this 6-figure nigga type of mentality, and if the goal is to get to 6-figure, and the goal is to not work with one's hands, and nobody's really looking at how much money people actually have. Same thing when the sisters talk about how they got degrees and all that, and as mediocre tutorials and reviews demonstrated off of the information from blackdemographics.com, you got a whole bunch of black women with all these degrees in underwater basket weaving that minimally have $40,000 in debt, and they're not factoring that in to their actual net worth. Oh, I got a degree, but you didn't major in STEM. You majored in some sort of social science that you can't make a living off of. Two primary examples of highly intelligent, educated, went to Ivy League schools, got put in debt out the nose, black women that are sitting online right now are both for Harriet Kim and Aisha K. Faines. God rest her soul. Right? For Harriet, majored in African American studies, from, I believe it was Harvard, and Aisha K. Faines majored in I think it was Eastern, Eastern languages, or it was something like Eastern languages and Eastern religion or something like that, or Eastern civilization or something like that. Again, pontification degrees, not anything in the technical sciences, not anything in the hard maths, not anything in finance, working for Goldman Sachs or Merrill Lynch, none of these things, just pontification degrees. I have a degree. And this was heavily pushed, I'd say, in the late 90s, early 2000s. To get degree, you go girl, all this other stuff. So, a lot of black people got caught up in what I would call the university industrial complex. And now they're sitting around, in debt out their eyeballs. But anyway, getting back to the main point, you can't simultaneously, just like I ripped in the shack, you cannot simultaneously talk about repairing the black community and patriarchy this and patriarchy that, and then as soon as you deem a woman to be unattractive who's actually accomplished and actually making decent money, that you suggest that she needs to date down. I keep seeing Kevin do this. Dennis is doing it. Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews sparingly does it. But there's a whole bunch of brothers that go, oh, well, there's plenty of brothers out here that are average, and you don't want average, right? And I'm saying, yeah, I get that for some of these women that are delusional, drank the Kool-Aid, believe in the awesomeness of the black woman, and don't really look at the numbers, come up with this 6-figure. I want a man making $300,000. I want a man making $1 million. Just retarded numbers. I get that for those women. But when it comes to the women that are making decent money, again, let's go above $100,000. I don't care how unattractive she is, you cannot sit there and advocate for a situation that is going to ultimately equate to role reversal and then say that you as a black man are for patriarch. Y'all don't know when to stop when you're ahead. Plain and simple. You don't know when to stop when you're ahead. You know what I would say to a woman who was asking me that question? Number one, not only is it not my problem, I would sit there and just shrug, to be honest, because I'm not going to tell her, well, what you need to do is you need to go and date down. Not to mention the fact of how much that shits on the guys that are actually blue collar, and you not even knowing how much money they actually make. You just start naming professions. Oh, well, you need to date a carpenter, and, you need to date a plumber, and you need to date an electrician, and you need to date basically anybody who works with their hands, because we're still operating off this 1970s model that, that men who work with their hands don't make any money. They have poor education, and, that's all there is to it. And those are the men that you need to date because, bitch, I'm too good for you, and I make white collar money, and so therefore I deserve a bad bitch, which includes the expanded light skin universe. And if you're bad enough, I will throw you in the selection and the pool, including the expanded light skin universe, which low key many of us value more than unracially ambiguous black women. That's the reality of the conversation. And dudes need to be honest about that. And if I was a blue collar guy, I would be offended. You know what it's like, right? I'm tall, right? I'm tall, and there's a lot of guys that follow me that are short. And imagine if I walked in the room and some I don't know, some fat chick wanted to get at me. And I said, you know what? I'm like, chick, you too fat for me, but I got a short guy for you. Right? I'm literally at that point equating her being fat and a dude being short to being equivalent, and they should get with each other because, hey, I'm tall. I was genetically blessed. I deserve, a woman who is not fat, while simultaneously low key saying that short dudes deserve fat bitches because short dudes are fat and short dudes are at the bottom of the rung of the sexual market value when it comes to height in man or height in men. You see? I don't know if any of you have ever had somebody, suggest that to you because maybe you weren't where you wanted to be. But that's some foul shit, and that shit doesn't feel good when you sitting there. Well, I mean, yeah, you should, like, if you're childless and you have somebody suggest a single mother to you. I'm sure some of you have had some of it. You know how white people are with their, when they come through with, they try to treat black people like they're like two labs or something. Like, oh my God, you have a lab? Oh my God, I have a lab too. Right. And then they'll sit there and they'll be like, oh, I got a friend and her name is Keisha. And you'll be like, oh, okay. And you're already assuming Keisha's not going to be attractive because white people are pretty shitty at setting you up with like an attractive woman. I don't know what it is, but that's how they are. Right. And then you come to find out she's got a kid and you're sitting there like, I don't have any kids. Why the fuck would you try to set me up with a chick with a kid? And they're like, oh, I don't know. Right? It's like, yeah, but you got a whole bunch of other friends, but you ain't trying to set me up with them that don't have no goddamn kids. Right? It highlights what they really think about you. You see? So all that crap with oh, well, we use blue collar guys, you ladies should check them out. Did you ask what the blue collar guys want? Did you ask what they're interested in? Because truth be told, just like all women, they want to shoot for the top regardless of whatever their level is. Men are the same way when it comes to beauty. If there's a such thing as gold digging, there definitely is a such thing as beauty digging. There definitely is a such thing as that, where dudes are trying to get the baddest bitch off of the strength of nothing. What's the difference? What's the difference between a chick trying to gold dig and a dude trying to beauty dig? What's the difference? A dude's out here trying to get a perfect 10, talking about let's Netflix and chill in my mom's basement. Like, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Again, I don't know where the blue collar guys are. I mean, they seem to be, in the conversation and not in the conversation at the same time. But I really haven't heard too many of them checking some of these guys that want to put themselves in the white collar category, who love to suggest that, these women that are too unattractive for them should date you guys. Oh, well, you need to date and not only date you guys because your profession has no status, but also date you guys because you make less money. Again, that is what Kevin Samuels was suggesting about the chick with the one that was the dog groomer, who I believe was making something like $125,000 to $130,000 a year with her dog company, with her grooming company. You see, that should not be done. Stop while you're ahead. Okay, a woman can feel that she deserves whatever the hell she wants. She can feel that she, wants a particular guy, or that she desires. She can desire, to her heart's content. That doesn't mean that she's going to get it. And yes, it is annoying when these women come online and try to dictate to men what their value is. Men determine women's value and women determine men's value. That is the way that it goes. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how arrogant you want to be. So all I'm saying is that I think it's pretty foul the way that some of these, white collar gurus, right? And truth be told, the only one that's really white collar guru is Dennis and lead attorney, because they were the only ones that were actually making money before this YouTube shit. Everybody else was not making money. That's why there's a bunch of people that when it comes to, I've been balling and I'm doing this and I deserve this and I did all that fresh and fit bullshit. I'm like, no. Again, more bullshit. Didn't make money, weren't running through bitches until, the YouTube channels blew up. That's the reality. That's the fact. But trying to think if there's anything else I want to add. Dudes just need to be honest about the shit. You don't feel that these women are attractive enough for you. And again, the women want to come online and they want to say, well, I'm looking for this and I'm looking for that and yada, yada, yada. And yeah, we can argue, oh, there's men available. But at the end of the day, if you're advocating for patriarchy, I hope that these men that you are suggesting are making more money than these women are making. Because if a woman, regardless of what she looks like, if she's reached the point where she's making 6 figures or more, you need to shut up. Stop while you're ahead. Say, hey, I wouldn't suggest to you that you date down, but you got to understand that men of that particular caliber are looking for a woman to usually look a certain way. And if you don't have that, you don't have that. I wish you the best of luck. Maybe there's a guy out there for you, but you got to be realistic about what your odds are. You don't then suggest to her that she date down. Now you're advocating for the very thing that is the problem in the black community and what we talk about with matriarchy and gynocracy and everything else. I'm like, what are you all doing? Anyway, that's all I got to say. That's my video. SWP out.